Get a Better Broadcast podcast, voice over voice. Let me tell you an anecdote, because I have advice and exercises and anecdotes from a career in radio and TV studios, and one of those stories coming your way right here, right now. Mike was referred for voice help by his studio engineer, which is a rather unusual route to consultation. The engineer's problem was that where he placed the microphone, it would always pick up Mike's breaths. And he determined that it was Mike at fault and not the studio equipment. And he was right. There could have been several reasons for the audible intake of breaths. Maybe Mike was breathing through his nose rather than his mouth. And because of the reduced air intake that way, his breath ended up something more like a sniff, sometimes a bit of a squeak or whistle. Maybe he was vocalising the breath alongside a lip smack, a duo of problems that often go together when a presenter audibly sucks in air through a partly closed and often an elevated tongue rather than let it drop in. We talked about this a few days ago, didn't we? Where you make the kind of sound rather than just opening up your mouth and letting physics and biology do their work. And having that air just drop into your lungs, which of course you do unaided most times of the day, particularly when you're asleep. Actually, it turned out Mike was breathing from his chest rather than his diaphragm, causing constriction tension in his neck. Better breathing and better relaxation techniques were described and prescribed, so Mike was better able to counteract the problem that he had been having. One of my case studies from a career in front of and behind the microphone on Get a Better Broadcast podcast and voice over voice. Tomorrow, we start a short series of episodes on studio tech that can make your voice sound great. Yeah, audio processing. Tomorrow on Get a Better Broadcast podcast and voice over voice. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.